Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number one news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dion.
Welcome to the show today. It is Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info and Herringport Harcourt. I'm Dio. 8 minutes gone past 3 p.m. Conversation is officially started. You're welcome once again to the Friday edition of the show. I like the Friday edition of the show. I love it. I really do love it. You know, it's wonderful. It's awesome. Yeah. By the way, for a number of reasons, top on the list, I think, or at least close to the top, Fridays officially kickstarts the weekend, and that's a great feeling. So it's good to be here. But however, we're still going to have quite the conversation, I do imagine. Yep, that's going to happen. So I should mention this as well, because I might forget. I remember today, sometime next week, I know it might seem a bit too early to mention this, but I just might forget before I eventually leave. So for sometime next week, I'm going to be away for a couple of weeks. Not now. I'm still going to be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think Thursday. So I think I'm going to be away from Friday next week. Yes, I'm going to be away from Friday next week for a couple of weeks, but I'll be back. All things being equal, I'll be back to keep the conversation going. But I need to take some time off and attend to some family matters, and also take some time off and catch some rest and just have fun all day and not think about work or Nigeria's problems. Anyways, yeah. So that's going to happen from next week Friday. I hope I'm getting that right. Yeah, next week Friday. So welcome once again on the show today. A few matters we're going to be addressing, but once again, I do hope you have had yourselves a fine week today, and things have looked up, or are looking up, in spite of all the issues we are dealing with, and that you're okay, and that you're well, and that you're in a good place. And if you're not there yet, don't give up hope. Just keep working at it. It's going to happen eventually. It will happen eventually. So let's see. On the show today, we've got a few matters we're going to be attending to. Definitely so. Let's see. I've got today's side comments coming up, random stories, random thoughts. Yep, that comes up. And after that, I've got a rant as well. Oh yes, I do actually. Something in my mind. I'm expressing some thoughts in it, and you're welcome to express your thoughts in mine all the way to 4 p.m. Now, 4 features the business news, and after that, what's the next matter? Well, Senate can't give Nigeria or Nigerians a new constitution. Yeah, I'm not the one who's saying that. The Senate actually is saying that. You know, let's take a look at that story. It's in the Vanguard newspaper, by the way. Senate can't give Nigeria a new constitution. You might want to check it out. Details if you can. Once again, it's in the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see some of that story. We can give Nigeria a brand new constitution. That's from Senate, and here's a bit of the story. The Senate said yesterday it cannot give Nigeria a brand new constitution as demanded by some social, political and cultural organizations in the country, saying the best it could do was to amend the existing one as it was currently doing. Yeah, absolutely so. And this statement was made by Deputy Senate President Deputy President of the Senate and Chairman Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, Senator Ovie Omoagege. Yeah. He said, though the Senate respects the opinion of some persons who want a new constitution, a section of the Constitution does not give the National Assembly the powers to produce a brand new constitution. I believe he's talking about a Section 9, or the Section 9, of the 1999 Constitution as amended. We also had something on our news on the subject matter where the Deputy President of the Senate, spoke on this. So I'd like to play that back for you right now. Just a moment. 19. Okay. Do I have it? Oh, yes, I do. Here we are.
Specifically, Section 9 of the Constitution empowers the National Assembly to alter the provisions of the Constitution and prescribes the manner in which this is to be done. Unfortunately, it does not make similar provision for replacing or rewriting an entirely new Constitution. To embark on any process without prior alteration of Section 9 of the Constitution to provide the mode through which an entirely new Constitution could be written will amount to gross violation of our oath of allegiance to the Constitution.
Yep. Can Nigeria have a new constitution in the event that we ever get to that point where we do want another one? Well, some persons do, obviously. What is the process for that? Do we have a process for that? Is it even possible to have a new constitution? There's another related matters we'll be looking at in the 4 o'clock hour. My guest, Barrister Richard Wokoja, joins me for that conversation. Former chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, Amok Branch, associate professor of public law, Rivers State University. Join the conversation after the business news at 4. And that takes us to 5. What's happening at 5? Let's see. Oh, yeah. His Excellency, Governor Wike, draws the battle line with Jusun. Absolutely. Feels like a Mortal Kombat situation. Round 1. It's just about started, I suppose. Or maybe it has. Maybe it's round 2 now. I'm not quite sure, actually. But definitely one of the rounds is taking place at this time. Even though I'm more a Street Fighter person than Mortal Kombat, really. But anyways, here's the story. Where is it? Here somewhere. Yeah, Governor Wike says the state government has begun the implementation of the no work, no pay policy against the striking judiciary and parliamentary workers. Governor Wike made this known during the commissioning of the National Industrial Court Judges' Quarters in Port Harcourt. Let's hear what His Excellency, the governor, had to say about this. This development. Where is that? Should we? Oh, here it is.
We started implementing the policy: no work, no pay. The Rivers State government will not pay judiciary workers in this June. Nobody can sit at home when we have not committed any offense for you to go on strike, and you expect us to continue to pay. We will not pay. No work, no pay.
Okay, all right. Once again, battle has been drawn. Round 1, fight. However, National Treasurer of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Jason Jim Musa, criticized the policy, saying Governor Wike's comment is proof that judicial autonomy is yet to exist in Rivers State. He called on the governor to withdraw the threat. Let's hear what Musa Jimo had to say about this matter. I do have to whip that up there. Let's see it. 901. Aha. Here it is.
Sometimes back, the governor of Rivers came out to say he is complying with the autonomy of judiciary. For him to invoke no work, no pay clearly shows opposite of what he has said earlier. That means he has not been complying with the autonomy of judiciary. Because if he is complying, the salaries of our workers in Rivers will be prepared by the judiciary itself. But since he is paying the salary at his own Ministry of Finance by his Commissioner of Finance, that means he is not complying with the judiciary, and that is what we are fighting for.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting position. I'll be discussing this as well in the 5 o'clock hour. I'll be joined by Jimo Musa, his National Treasurer of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN. That comes over after the news update at 5 p.m. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6, open season afterwards till about 7 when we wrap up the show today. So that's it. If there are any additions or subtractions, you will definitely know. Simply stay tuned. So let's keep the boat rolling right now with today's side comments, random stories, random thoughts that I came across as I checked out the news today. A reminder that these random thoughts during this open season segment will not be discussed at this time. Won't be discussed at this time. Until possibly during the open season segment, during which any other matter will be discussed as well. But before then, let's see a few comments over here. Oh, thanks for all the nice comments, by the way. Thank you very much. So let's see today's side comments. One of the stories that caught my attention yesterday as I checked out the news. A resident of Port Harcourt, fine face, Nukuru, says an overzealous security operative attached to a convoy smashed his car and that of so many others this morning. Mr. Nukuru told our correspondent that the incident happened along the Ngoba NTA axis in Port Harcourt. That's here what this law-abiding resident who was going about his business like a normal citizen until the crackhead children of versatile CP Eboka Friday encountered him on the road.
Convoy suspected to be maybe one of these government officials heading towards the same direction. So most of us quickly try to pave way for them so that they can use the other lane. But there was this other guy in autopilot healer's van. The arms they had to be hitting people's car, including this pistol that is used in grinding stones, a bigger one, and was hitting it on people's car. In cause of that, he also damaged my side mirror and all that in my vehicle.
CP Eboka Friday, your crackhead children are at it again. We don't know what to do with that. Maybe they need. Maybe you need to. I think to help you. You know, every family has them. Really, every family has them. It's just that your family is a very large one, and you have more than one. You have a lot of them. So I understand it could be a problem for you, CPA Book of Friday. Those crackhead children of yours. So what you could do is you could, you know, I'm not suggesting anything. You could conduct a mental evaluation for your children. I think that a lot of your children, aka your boys, need a mental evaluation. Now, it doesn't mean that they have a mental illness, you know. It doesn't mean they have mental illness. But something is not 100% right, mentally speaking. So it won't be bad if you get some professionals. I know, man, there must be an association of psychiatrists out there. You could partner with them to conduct a mental evaluation of all your children, because obviously all is not well. All is not well, and we need to do something about it. And by the way, versatile CP, what's going on with the investigation of your crack boys, your crackhead boys who collected money from Uniport undergraduate student, 150,000 and forgot their phone? What's happening with them? With that investigation, with the bank statement, this bank statement thing is quite something, really. CP Friday, what's going on with the bank statement? The good people of Rivers State, the GPRS, would like to know what's up with that. And also, we had some other crack children of yours. We don't know if they're on crack or something. Well, they're definitely crackheads. Took 200,000 naira allegedly from some other person again. Just after 150,000, you know, and what's the going on with? In fact, the victim in this case was able to POS handler who facilitated that transaction. I mean, come on, an investigation that's like an open and closed case, you know. So what's going on, CP Eboka Friday? How are you handling this crackhead children of yours? Because I imagine it's not a very easy thing. Well, I've given you a solution. Conduct a mental evaluation test for all of them. And these so-called bad eggs, throw them out. It's as simple as that. But the GPRS, once again, still waiting for the results of these various investigations. Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has advised to from the amnesty we granted so-called militants and the able to be anxious. What is, anyways? Because, you know, there could be argument. Governments in other countries may have used that. It's not going to work here. No, it's not. I mean, we already have crackheads in our security agencies, in our police force. We have crackheads there in the River State Police Command. Imagine now co-opting criminal elements. I mean, confirmed criminal elements, you know, aka bandits. Goodness gracious, what is... International Medical Organization Medicine Sans Frontiers says the lives of people in northwest Nigeria are now dominated by hunger. And by the way, for those of us here in the south, you in the south, I hope this is very important information that you should listen to. Medicine Sans Frontiers says the lives of people in northwest Nigeria are now dominated by hunger. Yeah, people, the northerners, these are the northerners you say are trying to kill you and take over your land. Their lives are dominated by hunger, abuse, and preventable diseases. MSF in a statement said the crisis in Zamfara State was more pathetic as there is a rising case of preventable illnesses associated with a lack of food. They don't have food. These are the northerners that want to. So the next time you say that they're packing all the money to the north, next time you say the north is the problem of this country, and that's not to say that there aren't northern elements who are sabotaging the progress and development of this country, the same way that there are southern elements who are doing exactly the same thing, maybe even worse. But it's unfortunate when we, because of the inadequacies, shortcomings, maybe even downright criminalities of certain persons, we are very quick to label an entire people as being bad, as being terrible, as being evil, as being the problem of this country. The same people who have the highest number of out-of-school children in this country. The same people who have the highest number of everything negative you can imagine in this country. The same people who are being mass murdered almost on a daily basis in this country. Yeah, they say Big Brother is coming to Nigeria. Yes, that's all our problems will be over very soon. Big Brother Nigeria lockdown reunion or something like that is starting soon. So all Nigeria's problems will go away very soon, as the vast majority of Nigerians will be occupied with Big Brother. I'm telling you, will be occupied with Big Brother. Insecurity will disappear. Lack of affordable qualitative healthcare will vanish. Schools going on strike intermittently. Lack of infrastructure in schools at every level. Education zero, disappear. Lack of good governance is going to vanish into thin air, as Nigerians will believe all is well once Big Brother shows up. Everything is suddenly fine and calm. Imagine His Excellency of Critical Matters, even though I'm not sure Oga listens many times, but I could remind him nonetheless. Your Excellency, we need to pay some attention to education in River State, especially basic education. You say you spend 20 billion on the River State University. Well, hopefully we will see what 20 billion is paying for very soon. But beyond that, basic education is the foundation, and the foundation is everything. It doesn't matter if we spend 100 billion on RSU. And by the way, it's good that we're paying attention to RSU. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Even though there are public procurement laws, rules, and regulations that I hope your Excellency is abiding by the way. Because once again, it's Rivers people's money, and it must be accounted for. It's not enough that we are seeing projects, or we are seeing building, or we are seeing expansion of campus. No, it's not. That's not the budget, Your Excellency. There must be accountability as to how this 20 billion is expended, what it was used for, exactly how it was spent. But coming to basic education, it doesn't matter if we spend 100 billion on RSU if we cannot, at the basic level, adequately and properly educate our children. It doesn't matter if we have the best university in the world in River State. The foundation is the basic education level, and it's in shambles to a great degree right now. We need to fix that situation. We need at least 10,000 teachers and at least 4,000 non-teaching staff in River State. As at some years ago, during your first term in office, we need proper infrastructure. We need schools with ceilings, with roofs, with bathrooms, with water, with power, with furniture. We need all these things, Your Excellency. We need teachers to be motivated. Infrastructure is good. Flyovers are not bad, actually, in certain instances. However, education will take us to a future where flyovers will no longer be required. And all of these flyovers we're putting up now, they're going to vanish at some point. But there are things that will not vanish, will never vanish. The best legacy, education. All right, so I think that's it for now. I go for a break. When I return to this round comes up, please stay with us.
What we do goes beyond bringing you the news. We give you a chance to talk about it. Your opinion, your voice. This is 92.3 Nigeria Info, Port Harcourt, your number one news, talk, and sports radio station.
And now, Hard Facts.
Hard Facts with Dayo.
Welcome back. It is Hard Factor 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo. 29 to go before 4 p.m. I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I'd like to express some thoughts on it, and you're welcome to express your thoughts and mine till about 4 o'clock. There are a couple of things that are wrong with leaders in Nigeria. Scratch that. There are many things. Too many things wrong with leaders in Nigeria, or people who occupy leadership positions in Nigeria, because they definitely don't act like leaders in any way. But I think I'd like to touch on two of them right now. One of them is that they seem to live in a bubble. They seem to be completely unaware of what's happening in the country, of what's happening to the people that they claim to be leading. It's almost like the masses, the people, the led, and the leaders are living in two separate worlds. In fact, scratch that, two separate universes. And the leaders have absolutely no idea what's going on. And the second thing is, that's a problem with that. The second concern I want to touch on is that, or highlight, is that Nigerian leaders, or once again those who occupy leadership positions, see themselves as some kinds of saviors, some kinds of demigods. Like, can someone give me like a Zeus of sorts, or a Hercules, or any of these other Greek gods, Achilles and the others? They see themselves who are simply being magnanimous, who are exhibiting their magnanimity to mere mortals, to mere humans. Like this gigantic god who is larger and big and just standing there and looking at these tiny things called human beings, called the masses, called the followers. And the god in his magnanimity. Oh, someone says Odin. Yeah, like Odin. Exactly like Odin. Odin is the father of Thor, Yeah, like Odin. Just looking at these tiny things called human beings, called the masses. Let's help them. I will give them road. I will give them bridge. Oh, I will give them water, and I shall give them school. Oh, how about I give them health center? Oh, look at me. And then after giving them, then they praise themselves. Or they employ people, hire people called aides, whose only job is to fan their ego every day. Oh, thou excellency, thou great divine excellency. Oh, thou provider of water. Oh, thou provider of road. Thine excellency, provider of school. Oh, almighty honorable provider of primary health center. Oh, thou honorable excellency, who art like thou, thine that movest with convoy, thine that shuttest down and declares curfew. Oh, thine that buildest road. Who can do what thine excellency doest? So that those are two major issues I believe that they have, and I'm quite convinced about that. And there's a story I came across that entrenches that belief for me. The story is in the Punch newspaper and it's captioned, "Nigeria needs a leader with iron fist, a kind bully." And who is saying this? None other than one of the aides, Femi Adesina. Hence the story, or at least a bit of it. Femi Adesina, special advisor to the president on publicity, says Nigeria needs a leader with an iron fist like his Prince's capital. No, Nigerians do not need a leader with an iron fist. Back to the story. The presidential aide also said Buhari wouldn't allow criminals and insurrectionists from any part of the country to destroy Nigeria. An iron fist is not required to do that. That's what leaders or presidents anywhere in the world are elected to do. And iron fist or bullying people is not a job requirement to fulfill that. Adesina said this in a piece on Friday titled, "I suddenly remembered why I fell in love with the president." Oh, he forgot. Good for him. Now, he said, quote, "The man we fell in love with is of iron and steel, one ready and willing to knock sense into contumacious heads, whipping everyone into line." Whipping everyone into line. Nigerians do not need anybody to whip them into line. Might I remind advisor Adesina that Nigerians are not animals. Nigerians are not animals and should not be whipped by anybody into line. Femi Adesina goes on. He says, whipping everyone into line and being kind to us in the process. How do you whip people into line and consider that to be an act of kindness? He goes on and says, a kind of bully, if you like the oxymoron. I do not like the oxymoron because a bully is never a good thing. There's no context in which bullying can be considered a good thing. No context at all. So I'm quite perturbed and disturbed that Mr. Femi Adesina believes that Nigerians need an iron fist. Someone to knock sense into us. And his words exactly, whipping everyone into line. No, Nigerians don't need to be whipped into line. Nigeria is confronted with a lot of challenges. Whipping Nigerians into line is not the solution to these problems, because the solution is not bottom up. No, there are solutions that may require the cooperation and sensibilities of Nigerians, yes, but I am convinced that the vast and critical problems this country is facing right now, the solution to it is top to bottom. I'll give an example. Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are more disposed to what is popularly referred to as jungle justice. And this is the critical part of the problem we have in this country, what I'm talking about or describing right now. Why would a lot of Nigerians, not all Nigerians, definitely, why would a lot of Nigerians apprehend a criminal and prefer to end that person's life in that moment than hand over that person to the authorities? The answer is simple, because Nigerians do not trust the justice delivery system in Nigeria. Nigerians do not trust that there's equity and there is fairness in Nigeria. And beyond the issue of jungle justice, when people do not trust in the justice delivery system, when people do not trust, the citizens of any nation do not trust that justice, equity, and fairness is guaranteed, the multiplier effect of that alone is unquantifiable. The ramifications we cannot discuss, I cannot describe in a 1-hour monologue. I'm not even sure that a humongous textbook can completely encapsulate the implications of that. So is it the people that are going to create the equity, justice, and fairness? Of course not. It's the guys at the top. And the same thing goes for the myriad of challenges and issues that we are confronted with daily in this country. To fix it does not require whipping Nigerians into any kind of a line. No. Nigerians are not senseless. We're not a senseless people. We're not against civilization. We're not anti-civilization. We know what's up. We may not all have traveled overseas or been to Dubai, where, by the way, bullies and iron-fisted leaders in Nigeria steal our common patrimony and go there to stash it away in bank accounts and sky-high buildings. Not all of us may have traveled to the UK, where iron-fisted and bullying leaders in Nigeria take our billions and trillions and stash them away in foreign accounts and buy jewelry worth 14 billion naira. Not all of us may have had the luxury to travel to the US, where iron-fisted and bullying leaders stash humongous sums, or other parts of the world for that matter, buying property that sometimes I think even they might even forget they may have purchased. Nigerians want a good life. Nigerians want security. Nigerians want healthcare. Nigerians want responsible leadership. And yes, there might be a few of us who are recalcitrant, as you have anywhere and everywhere in the world, who are determined to be criminally minded and act out in such a fashion. Even the law prescribes how they should be dealt with. We have systems, we have structures in place that clearly define how they are to be treated, how they are to be handled. So, iron-fistedness, and this is not Nigeria is not a Shaolin movie. We don't need the bully with the iron fist. Starring Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. And that female one, I really like her. I've forgotten her name. Something Liu, I think. Nigeria is not it's not a Shaolin temple. We don't need the bully with 10 iron fists to do anything. We just need sensible people, sensible leaders who are patriotic, who have the willingness to take this country to a greater height. They don't need iron fists. They definitely should not be bullies. And there is no sense in attempting to whip everyone into line. Because once again, Nigerians are not animals. I dare say that a lot of Nigerians are even more sensible than our so-called honorables and excellencies. And if anybody needs whipping into shape, let's start with government houses across this country. If anybody needs an iron fist, maybe honorables and excellencies should get some of that first. If anybody needs to be bullied, maybe the honorables and excellencies should take a look at themselves. Because once again, we don't need iron fists. We don't need bullies. We don't need a savior. No, we don't need a God who is going to help us. No, we need one from amongst us who is sensible, who is reasonable, who will uphold the law, uphold justice, equity, fairness, and will do the right thing. That's all we need. And Nigerians, the vast majority, will fall in line. On that note, I end my round. Thanks for listening. I hope I did not bore you sincerely. Lines are open right now. Let's get your take. 081... What's that number? 0817 93 0002 or 0003. There's 0817 93 0007 as well. We're live on I think Facebook. Yep, facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. Drop a comment on Twitter @NigeriaInfoPH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Keep it brief, concise, and straight to the point. And I think I have to take the calls myself. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Dayo.
Hi, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Friday.
Go on, Friday.
Prior to this period, I've always been telling people that we have been on a military regime since this man took over. The statements of Femi Adesina simply just justify what I have been saying. They have been talking tough on media, social media. What kind of government talks to its citizen in this manner? It clearly just justifies all these troubles going on in this country here and there. It's unimaginable, seriously, that somebody of that caliber would speak this kind of thing. We are still in military leadership. And until we are into democracy in its fullness, this country will get worse than this, and more agitators are yet to erupt. Thank you.
You're welcome. We've got some 14 to go before 4 o'clock. You're welcome to join the conversation. Hello, hard fact, you're welcome.
Yes, good evening there.
Hello, go on.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
See, you just said it all. And you helped you. I don't think what you said best describe our leaders. We do not have leaders. I said that to mean that if you listen to how leaders speak abroad in cities and countries, and you listen to how, in quote, our leaders in quote speaks here, you just look at them like, where did they come from? It will be the first question. There's always a question mark. You've been ranting for many years. You've been in Rivers State for 8 years. 2 years remaining, you'll be a citizen. Every time leaders speak, whether in the state here or away, within the country, you just think, where are they coming from? There must always be, it's either their press assistants or the leaders themselves, for the mannerism, their tune, their choice of language. They speak like, I'm on radio, so I'm holding myself, so you don't get to apologize over what I'm going to say. But I dare say we don't have leaders. Because some that are not leaders are better than those who fortunately find themselves into those places. We don't have leaders. And the Adesina himself, who has said this, will continually be ruled by Iron Fist, Shaolin Temple kind of. He will be kicked, he will be punched, and whatever he wish Nigerians, that's what he's going to get. I rest my case there, but we don't have leaders in Nigeria yet. We're not praying. We're going to do what is right. We're talking. We're going to be writing. We're going to be talking until one day the Nigerians, the citizenry, will stand up to choose their rightful leaders. We don't have one yet up to today.
Good to have you, Misha. Gani from Abulima, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dayo, good afternoon.
Hi, go ahead.
Okay, I'm good. So, as regards your round today, I think I'll go with Femi Adesina. But I think in the context of the choice of words, I think that's where probably not speaking right. But the truth is that you need somebody that has an iron fist in terms of intellect, in terms of decision making. Generally, you need somebody that is strict in decision making in order to be able to handle the situation of Nigeria. I'm not with him on the choice of words, but if you look at it critically, you need somebody that has, a firm decision making characteristics in order to be able to handle Nigeria.
Who's going to whip everyone into line? Ganu?
Hello?
I said, who's going to whip everyone into line?
I said it initially. Yeah, I'm not good at the use of words. I'm not a poet. It might be in the line of choice of words that makes you look wrong. But if you look at it on a general terms, you actually need somebody that has a kind of iron fist, in terms of intellect, in terms of decision making, in order to be able to handle Nigerian situation. Sincerely speaking, we are not easy people in Nigeria. When you see an individual act sometimes, you wonder how someone could act
if you go through
that's my own part of it.
All right, good job. If you goodness, the things that Nigerians go through every day, for me, is what makes us act the way that we do. The poverty, the lack, the trauma. I mean, that's enough to make anybody have a mental breakdown, really, I suppose. Agbo from Ada Georgia, welcome. Go ahead.
Yes, Dayo, good afternoon.
All right, go on.
Yes, Dayo, your rant this afternoon just took me down memory lane and remember everything that happened when I was in the barracks, when I was living in the barracks with my parents back in the day, and things that happened, and I decided to relocate to Port Harcourt.
Okay.
And then when you ranted yesterday and you ranted again this afternoon, I just realized for sure, after I got a call from my dad this morning, and your rant this afternoon just taught me something. And then I realized that it's true. The paradox they told us back in the day when we were in school, that the child shall become the father of the man. The child shall become the father of the man. And what our politicians don't understand today, and what our leaders don't understand, is that someday, in the very near future, that the Nigerians they look at as masses, would eventually become the father of the man. And so they treat this child like there is no future. I'm of the school of thought that believe in justice rather than peace. I don't like peace, just Dayo.
Yeah.
I don't preach peace.
Okay. What's wrong with peace?
Justice.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know why? Because if it is unity, equity, harmony, living together, all of them are offshoots of justice. Justice is the mother of all of those things. So how can you fight for peace when you've just taken somebody's property, and when the person fights for his property, you gather your family members and you want them to solicit for peace. Let the man just calm down and forget about his property, that there may be peace. Even if he has to want to fight you today to get justice, someday his children will hear the story and they will come back. And that's exactly what's happening to this country. That's it.
Agbo, great to hear from you, sir. I must move on right now. Great to hear from you, though. All right, sorry, Vincent, call back if you can. I've got tweets right now via Twitter at Umot Tweets. Good afternoon, Dar. The words of Femi is so annoying. Whatever he's doing or saying now, that he's at the corridors of power, he should know that soon he'll be out from that position. I think he'll come out to meet Nigerians again. At Anna Hysent tweet, good afternoon, Dar. Very unfortunate statement coming from a leader. We're not surprised the country is turning into a tyrant republic. Femi Adesina should be wary of his words sometimes. Have a cool evening. That's from Hyman. At Ike0280 tweets, when you hear politicians speak, you can clearly see, hear, and feel the disconnect. They forget that power is transient and someone else was in that same office they now occupy. They also don't know that those in power are not insulated from the consequences of their own ineptitude. At Peter Amos 007 tweets, by the words, you can note the level of the mentality. It's only Nigeria. Leaders are not held accountable to their words. Jeff Anfield tweets, Femi Adesina is just a pure mistake to be educated to such because he doesn't act like one. I've got Levinus from HL on the line. You're welcome. Go ahead. Levinus, go ahead. All right, via Facebook. Kinsler Giddy goes, Femi Adesina on his likes are the president's media handlers. That always helps Mr. President to tweet what Twitter would pull down, threats everywhere, all the time. Abina Uwaga on Facebook goes, not surprised. Why shouldn't all their policies be anti-people? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mind will speak. And we've got Emmanuel on the line. Emmanuel, you're welcome from Owerri. Go ahead.
Hello, Dayo.
Hi, Emmanuel, go ahead.
I think, what's his name? Femi has a point. I think he has a point. You see, China is not a democracy, and China is better developed than Nigeria. I think we have a lot of freedoms here, and the freedoms here, we're not using the freedoms, properly. The U.S., that is a democracy, has moved, the development there is way ahead of, what we see in this place.
So would you rather Nigeria be like China, or would you rather Nigeria be like the U.S.?
For me, I want steady electricity. I want good roads. I want an economy that is good.
So you don't mind. So you don't mind if the government is one that determines what your religion will be, or determines how many children you can have, or basically dictates your life. You don't mind.
No, I don't mind. If they will deliver these things I want.
Okay, all right. Noted. All right, I've got comments via WhatsApp as well. I think I should get to those also. It's very unfortunate to even think that this statement is coming from a professional like Femi Adesina. Very, very unfortunate and shameful. That's from Odinma. Oh, someone reminded me of a popular actress's name. That's Lucy Liu. Thank you for that. The truth is that Nigeria is gone. The country is now a laughingstock all over social media. Good evening. The truth is our leaders have no love for the citizens. Zero quality of leaders. Ayewo Temple said that in. Are we in apartheid South Africa or the Nazi? Are Nigerians animals that we should be whipped? Please, Mr. Adesina, tell your principal we don't need any iron face. Damete Erica Sima saying that. Now to the caller from Owerri earlier on. I strongly suspect that if you ask the average Chinese person, and by the way, tyranny or dictatorship is not a prerequisite for a good country or a developed country. And I'm glad he used the US as an example. That's a thoroughly democratic society, but is very developed. And there are several other such countries, by the way, several other across North America, across Europe, democratic societies where those things is asking for. Roads, lights, water, everything works. Everything works perfectly. I suspect strongly, if you ask the average Chinese, they would want to live in a society where they can determine these things for themselves. They would want to live in a society where they're not looking over their shoulders. Because once again, tyranny or dictatorship is not a requisite, is not a requirement for good governance, as is evidenced in democratic societies that work. So that logic for me is neither here nor there, really. Does this mean that President Buhari does not read all these articles that Femi writes about him before sending to the public domain? Oh well. Please remind Femi Adesina that all that happened in 1983 to 84 during Buhari's military regime, when Nigerians were whipped into lines and sanity and discipline were the order of the day, was the brainchild of the second-in-command back then, Tunde Diagbon. As for Buhari, it was still docility as it is today. Femi can continue his love for him, but leave Nigerians out of this cluelessness. That's from John. All right, so that's it for today's conversation, today's rant segment. I'm going to break now. When I return, is there a process for giving Nigerians a new constitution? The Senate says they can't. Barrister Okocha joins me for that conversation. Please stay tuned.